What is margin of safety? Buying an asset at a significant discount to its intrinsic value. So even if you are wrong about the business, you don't lose much. Coined by Benjamin Graham but weaponized and depended by Seth Klarman in his 1991 cult book Margin of Safety, now sells for $2,000 to $4,000 used on Amazon. The core idea: investing is not about finding what will go up, it's about avoiding permanent loss of capital. The Seth Klarman philosophy in one line: the secret of investing is that there is no secret, just discipline, patience, and an obsession with not losing money. Most investors ask, how much can I make? Klarman asks, how much can I lose? How he defines intrinsic value, net asset value, NAV, what the underlying assets are worth if sold today, discounted cash flow, DCF, present value of all future cash flows the business generates, liquidation value, what you would get if the company shut down and sold everything. He cross checks all three. The most conservative estimated win. The three sorts of margins of safety: price, buy cheap enough that even a bad outcome leaves you whole; business quality, strong assets or cash flow that protect downside; catalyst, an event that closes the gap between price and value, his investment universe where he looks; distress securities, companies in or near bankruptcy, bonds trading at deep discounts, spin-offs and restructuring, forced selling create mispricing, liquidations, companies winding down, assets worth more than market cap, complex situations, anything Wall Street find too messy to model cleanly. He deliberately hunts where institutional investors cannot or will not go. Famous win, Farmers distressed biotech, bought deep value situations most funds avoided. Post 2008 financial crisis, Baupost bought mortgage backed securities and bank debt at extreme discount when everyone was panicking. One of his best ever periods. Real estate post crisis, bought distressed property asset at 30 to 50 cents on the dollar, held patiently for recovery. News Corp, media spin-offs, exploited complexity of large conglomerate breakups. Baupost has returned approximately 20% annually since 1982 with very low volatility. Famous failures and lessons. VP after Deepwater Horizon 2010 bought heavily on the thesis that the sell-off was overdone. Position worked eventually but took longer and was more painful than modeled. A Greek sovereign debt, like a singer, got caught in the judicial trap. A lesson reinforced: legal structure of instrument matters as much as price. Held large cash positions in bull market. Critics called it a drag. Klarman called it a dry powder discipline. His regret pattern: occasionally selling too early on positions that kept recovering. Margin of safety versus growth investing. Growth investor pays 40x earnings for a business growing 30% annually. Klarman pays 6% earning for a business no one wants to own right now. Growth investors risk multiply, comparison destroy return. Klarman's edge: downside is already priced in, upside is free. His view on market behavior: markets are not efficient, they are driven by emotion, institutional constraint, and short termism. Forced sellers create the best opportunities. The crowd is most dangerous at market tops when everyone is comfortable. Klarman gets nervous. Cash is a position. Sitting on a dry powder, waiting for fat pitches is a strategy, not a laziness. Core principle: never lose money. Rule number one and rule number two. Graham's words. Klarman's religion: complexity is your friend. The messier the situation, the less competition. Forced selling is equal to opportunity. Find who has to sell, not who wants to sell. Catalyst matters. Cheap alone is not enough. Something must close the gap. Ignore Mr. Market's mood. Price is what you pay, value is what you get. Volatility is not a risk. Permanent capital loss is a risk. Temporary drawdowns are opportunity. Margin of safety. The book has never been reprinted. Klarman intentionally kept it scarce. The irony of the value of investors book being the most overpriced book on Amazon is not lost on anyone.